Welcome back to Mountain Connections. I am very excited to have Bill Humbert here. He is our recruiter guy to talk all about strategies for companies and candidates for finding a job. He has written several books. This is just one of them, Employee 5.0, Secrets of a Successful Job Search in the New World Order. Bill, thanks for being here.
Christine, thank you.
It's a pleasure to get to interview you again. I don't always get this pleasure, so.
Oh, for me, it's fun. You're great.
Well, thank you. It is fun. And this is your 98th appearance on Park City Television.
Actually, 98th television appearance. So I've been on CNN Headline News, and I've been on KSL and several stations in the Midwest. So still the 98th, though. That's good.
So you're a pro.
I hope so. We'll see.
98, so that's an incredible, we're almost to 100, so we're going to have to throw a party when we get to that 100.
We will.
Well, I'm excited about today's topic. We're talking all about how companies can attract the top talent. You have some great strategies about what they should do and what they shouldn't do, because every company, of course, wants that new talent, that new recruit, that person that's going to really take them to the next level.
That's correct. They all want that. Unfortunately, most times, they believed the Rolling Stones song, "Time is on your side." No, it's not. In the recruiting industry, you have to understand people's brains, and they sometimes they delay contact and they delay their engagement with the candidate, and therefore they have problems with recruiting.
And why do they do that? Why is that a tendency for companies to kind of wait to be completely sure? Is that kind of an older strategy that's no longer applicable?
Well, what happens is the employment market changes. So in the recession of 2008, 2009, there were zillions of candidates out there. So they could wade through and take their time and pick whichever one they want. Well, the employment market that we've been in for the past 3 or 4 years has been one where it's almost full employment. And so if you have a person who's not happy where they are and they're looking for a job, well, if you don't get them, somebody else is going to get them. Mm-hmm. It's going to be like that. I
think while top companies have great insight and can recognize that incredible talent, sometimes they hesitate. They want to use their ability to recognize that talent that maybe even the candidate isn't aware that they have, but then scoop it up. So let's get specific. What should they do? What should they not do?
Well, the corporate recruiting needs to, there's a magic of 72 hours. And within 72 hours, when you think about it, what happens? The person's brain starts to talk to them. And they end up on an emotional roller coaster. Are they interested in me? Or are they not interested in me? I thought I did well. I didn't think I did well. And at the end of that 72 hours, a lot of times they've moved on mentally. So it's really important to every 72 hours touch base with that person. Here's where we are right now. Even if you don't know what the next step is. As a recruiter, part of your job is to recruit and get out there and talk to the people.
And you need to expect as a candidate that this is a multi-step process, that you aren't going to hear back immediately, and not to second guess yourself or think, oh, that must have been terrible because I didn't hear back within 24 hours.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, there's really 3 different categories of candidates. There's the hourly worker. Well, that's one that should be an easy decision. We like them, we don't like them, we'll hire them, we're not going to hire him or her. Then you have, a young professional. Well, a young professional doesn't have a long history of work to delve into. And so with them, it should go along at a pretty good rate because, either they've got the experience that you're looking for or they don't. This person looks like a good person, let's go with them. And then you have the executives. And the executives, those professionals understand that the process will be longer, sometimes up to a month. Mm-hmm. And it may also include psychological testing. Many times they have to go through Wonderlic. They'll have to take assessments. A lot of times they even actually have to have a psychological interview. And it's really interesting, but at the time that they're going through it, they understand the process because they've been in it before. So you have those 3 different layers of candidates. Some you should make a decision immediately, I want them or not. And then others, there's going to be a longer process.
And that's just depending on what position they're seeking, how experienced they are, just a number of different things.
Yeah.
So if companies start to communicate more regularly with their candidates, what will be the result?
They'll attract top talent. And by attracting top talent, what happens is top talent knows top talent. Imagine that.
There you go.
And so if they hear, hey, XYZ company has done a great job, I'm excited, and I'm coming in here and I'm starting to make really nice impacts. Now, the other friends of theirs, the other top talent, are saying, that's a place I want to work. And so you attract them, and you don't even have to spend any money for that. They just want to come. Yeah. You know, Hewlett-Packard once had a reputation as that's the kind of company you want to work for. I don't know whether they do or not anymore, but you know, back in the 90s and early 2000s, that was a company that people just streamed to, and the recruiters probably had a really tough time, only because they had to determine among the top talent which one they wanted to hire.
So let's flip the script a little bit and look at the side of the candidate. It can be a very stressful time when you're looking for a job, kind of depending on where you're at in your life. What should you do if you feel like it's been too long since you've heard? Do you reach out? Do you just keep quiet? What should you do? It's so hard to know.
No, you have to understand, I'm a recruiter guy, so I'm reaching out.
It's true.
But candidates, it's harder. You're right, it's harder for them because they're going, did I do well in my interview? Or didn't I do well? You know, people, they say, that whoever they are, right? They say we use 10% of our brain, right? Can you imagine how bored the other 90% is? That's the side that's playing with their head.
Yeah, definitely.
And so it's saying, you know, you didn't do as good a job as you should have done. Or there were some responses to those questions that probably we could have given a better answer. Or, you know, all of that stuff starts going through their head. And then when the company finally does call them, they're confused in some ways. And so they have to then spin back up to speed and understand what it is, where they are. I've had candidates call and tell me, or I've called them, extended an offer, and they said, I didn't even think she liked me.
They're so in their head. It's a hard time finding a job.
It is a hard time. It is. And plus they're going through the grieving process too. If they're looking for a job and they've been laid off, they're definitely going through the grieving process. But even if they've got a job and they've been there for a long time and they've just determined, I'm topped out, I have to make a move, they still go through a grieving process because they thought this was going to be where I'm going to spend my life. And those jobs aren't around too much anymore.
They really aren't. Well, these have been some great tips. But you want to mention an event you have coming up with the National Speakers Association.
Yes, Speakers Showcase, October 16th. Get there around 2:30 or 3 at the Kiln down in Salt Lake City. It'll be a great event. 20 speakers are going to speak for 8 minutes on their favorite topic. And it'll be a really kind of a fun way to experience local professional speakers. I'm going to be speaking on proper goal setting. Remember my signs? I'll be speaking on proper goal setting, and then there are other 19 folks who'll be speaking on whatever topic it is that they excel in.
So a great opportunity for companies to come and find that next great speaker set for their next conference.
Exactly. And there's a lot of talent in Salt Lake City.
There is a lot of talent. Well, thanks so much, Bill, speaking of talent, for coming and talking to us all about this interesting subject of attracting top talent.
Thank you, Christine. It was fun.
All right, check out Recruiter Guy Bill Humbert online. He's got lots of great tips for you, lots of incredible media appearances, and also the National Speakers Association right around the corner. A fun time to see some great new motivational business speakers right here in our area. We have more coming up on this Business Wednesday right after this.